Hey mamas, so this is Mama Confession Mondays and this is episode 4. So just to recap my last week, I am so thankful that I have some family that comes around every once in a while to help with the kids. I have my sister-in-law and her family to take the kids on Tuesdays and Thursdays so I can do this online course. Just in that time of doing my online course, and then I quickly try to get something ready for dinner, it just refreshes my brain and it gives me a different output so that I feel more refreshed when I'm with my kids, and I have a lot more patience when I see them at 6 o'clock. So another thing is my husband's cousin's wife, I'm just gonna call her a cousin at this point, she also offers to come and watch the baby while I'm here at home and the kids are at school, so that I could get some cleaning done. And it was so good. It was so good last week because I had, no joke, I had 7 loads of laundry to fold. Because I just don't have time to get to it, and of all the things that I'm doing, it's just lower on my priority list. And we still had some more laundry to do, but there was no more baskets, and some of the baskets had double the amount of clothes in it because I was just telling my son to like dump it in this bin and just keep going. But she came here and she watched him, and I was able to fold 7 loads of laundry and stuffed diapers, which was amazing. So I'm so grateful for that. And I know it's difficult during these COVID times to be able to do that, to have people come into your home or for you to go to other people's homes and socialize and that sort of thing. But it's really nice to know that there's some people in my life that are willing to drop everything and come and help. And we're in each other's bubble. But I feel like my bubble is a little bit bigger because I have to take my kids to school, even though we try to do everything as safe as possible. My bubble's slightly bigger, so I do feel like that responsibility to minimize the amount of people that we're around. Oh, I hear my baby. 1 second. And I'm back. I got him back to sleep, which is great. I woke up this morning, and I got ready while the kids were sleeping for a little bit. And sometimes I'm lucky and he can sleep a little bit until at least after breakfast. This is Tegan, by the way. But he woke up while I was making breakfast and getting the lunches ready, and I go in there and he has gotten his hand out of his swaddle and he was scratching his face. And when I turned on the light, he was literally bleeding from like forehead down to his chin, and he was just screaming, and I hate seeing him like that. It breaks my heart to see him like that, and knowing that he's trying to give himself relief, but then he's also feeling the pain of his cheeks. And so if you have any suggestions on how I could help him through this whole cheek, I'm about ready to call him Scarface. he's scratching so much. And I notice he scratches more when he's teething really bad, or if he's really hot. He just goes to town, especially on his which cheek is it? His left cheek is the worst. He'll just go to town. And so he'll have days where he goes about 3 days and he does really well without the scratching. And it looks like it's gonna clear up, and I'm getting kind of hopeful. And then I think that new skin comes up, and if you've ever had a scab, one of the first things you probably do is scratch it And that's what he ends up doing. It's just like a scab that's healing, and it just, I guess it's just so itchy, and he just goes for it. So I've been doing like a multitude of different things that I've noticed help, but nothing seems to help when that new skin comes up and that itch factor sets in. He just anyways. So help, that's what I was talking about before. I'm so thankful for it, and I'm not, it's really hard for me to ask for help, and I know that's not a very good thing, but I don't know. Even when Terry was sick, I didn't ask for help, and if I did ask for help and someone said like, yes, I can help you, it helped chip away at that idea of like, I have to be able to do it on my own. I have to, if I don't, then I'm failing, I'm not good enough, I'm not strong enough. So I just, asking for help is such a thing for me. It's and so when I ask for help and people say, yes, I can help you, it's great. It just means like, okay, I should ask for help more often. But when I ask for help and people are like, no, I can't do it, I'm kind of like, yeah, I should have known better. Like, I know I should do it on my own. And it's not a very good mindset. You know, when people offered, most of the times I will say yes. Most of the time I will say, yes, please. Like, if you could take the kids for 2 hours so I can clean, or I can do the dishes, or I can make something, or I can go to the grocery store, that'd be great. Or sometimes people have not even offered with words. They just literally come with grocery bags and they're like, I got you some groceries. And that is wonderful to me. That is like gift upon gift upon gift to me, because this person had the forethought. I was in their thoughts. My family was in their thoughts, and they thought, how many times can I say thought? But they ended up doing something out of the bottom of their heart, the goodness of their heart, and I can only be 100% grateful. So yeah, if you don't see me asking for help, it's because I'm sort of hardwired to say that I have to do it on my own. I have to be able to be strong enough to be capable enough to do it on my own. And if I do ask for help, it's because I'm desperate. It's because I really, 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 really need help. Or I would have done it on my own, kind of thing. And if I ask for help and someone just like flat out says no, and if I asked for it again and somebody flat out said no, I probably won't ask you a third time. It's not because I'm mad at you or anything like that. It's just, it's one of those things where it helps in a negative way. It helps solidify that, yeah, I don't have any help and I should just do it on my own. And that's just not a very healthy mindset. So again, if people are watching this and like you're hearing what I'm saying, literally offer, or sometimes being a little more assertive and just be like, I want to take your kids for 2 hours. What day works for you? Or something like that. Because it forces me to look at my schedule, for example, and be like, you know what? Friday works great. You ask me and you say, hey, is there anything I can do to help? Probably 8 times out of 10, off the top of my head, I can't think of anything. I'll be like, no, I think we're okay. And then it's not until like an hour or two later, I'm like, oh my god, I should have jumped on that offer because I need to go to the grocery store, or I need to, clean, endless cleaning. My kids ended up going on a sleepover on Friday to their auntie's house, which was great. It was just me and baby here, and I was able to do some decluttering, do some cleaning. I got to do a workout. I put on this 20-minute Zumba clip on YouTube, and I can link that below in the blog and on the YouTube channel. but it's the only thing that's short enough that I can do while my 8-month-old is sleeping. And it's the only kind of exercise that I respond really well to, because I grew up in a Filipino family where dancing and singing were all about what you did, especially at family gatherings. And my family is fairly big, and so when we get together, it was either at my mom's house, which was large enough to accommodate most of us, but if it was like a really big party, like an anniversary or like a 16th birthday, that type of thing, we would rent out halls and spaces, like large spaces with a huge dance floor, and we would dance and dance and dance and eat and eat and eat. Very Filipino. Eating, dancing, and singing. So yeah, like that was my earliest form of exercise, was dance. And to me, dancing isn't exercise, it's just fun. And it was it was something I could do with my mom, and it was something I could do with my aunts and my uncles and my cousins. And my mom's side of the family, in one of my previous clips, I said that my mom would take some of her siblings and they would go on the street and they would perform and make a little extra money. One of my earliest memories was my grandma and grandpa. I call them nanay and tatay. They're both passed on now, but they used to do this tango, and they would take up the floor. So like when they were gonna do the tango, when that music came on, everyone cleared the dance floor for my grandma and my grandpa, and they would do the tango, and my grandpa would do this one move and he was like a big squatty guy, not big, but like large, a squatty guy, and he would do this thing where he would go on his knee, he would bend a knee, and he would grab my grandma's knee, and he would spin her one way, and he would catch her with the other hand, and he would spin her the other way, and I don't know, it was just beautiful to watch. I loved watching them do the tango. And my grandfather, he always dressed to the nines. Like, he never went anywhere without dressing to the nines. And I remember in the place where they lived, one of their neighbors in the same complex, he was a tailor. And so my grandfather always got his clothes tailored to him all the time. If he lost weight, if he gained weight, it didn't matter. It had to be tailored to him. His shoes always had to be shiny. He would buff them all the time. His hats, I think he even had a hat brush. Like, he was brushing his hats to make them look so nice. He never went anywhere without looking impeccable, and I wish I had that in me. I wish I could do that, but like sometimes I'm just like in the sweatpants and I'm going to bring my kids to school. And if I didn't have to get out of the car to bring my 5-year-old to his teacher, I would have just stayed in the car and been like, see you later, kids. Gotta go now, see you later. And I would just probably stay in my pajamas or something because they wouldn't see me. I wouldn't be getting out of the car. I'm trying to be a little bit better about doing a bit more self-care for myself, and part of that is working out and getting a bit more healthy. So I've tried the whole boot camp and circuit training. I've tried a whole bunch of different things, and what I've noticed is when I go hard at something, like when it's about working out or diets, or not diets, but eating habits and that sort of thing, when I go hard at it, I fail within probably like the first month. And so I had a good talk with myself over the winter break, over Christmas, and I kind of just went, you know what, how about I do little things? Little things, and as I... Oh, hold on. How do I lower you? Did it work? Did it work? Okay. And see how that goes, and then I'll start slowly adding on to it. And so one of the first things I did was increase my water intake. So I was doing I started with 8 to 10 glasses of water. Or I worked up towards 8 to 10 glasses of water, I should say. And my bladder hated me. My bladder really hated me. And then I axed the pop, and I really only drink Coke. So, and I noticed even before Christmas that Coke tasted weird to me after, like, I don't know, for some reason. So I said to myself, like, okay, I don't even seem to like the taste of this anymore. How about I start axing the Coke? And so I did that, and oh man, I had the worst migraine. It was behind my eye, and I don't know if you've ever had, oh well, I'm assuming it's called a migraine. I'm not sure. But if you've had that kind of a headache where it's behind your eye, and it's just like a stabbing pain, and light movement, eye movement is just horrible. I think I hear my baby again. 1 second. Okay, so I wasn't able to get him to go back to sleep. So he's with me now. And you can see his poor cheek. He just scratched it all up this morning. Yeah. So something that I am trying to focus on is sort of the dreams that Terry and I had for the garden. We're waiting to find out where our pins are so we can put our fence up. And it's just going to be with T-posts and some wire fencing. Mostly it's just to keep the critters out and keep my dog in so that we can just let him out in the mornings and stuff. But hi baby. Hi. One thing I wanted to do is put in a couple more garden beds and put either some trellises in that so that I can do some vertical gardening, especially with the squashes and things that I want to grow. So anyways, I put this on my Instagram, and I still have some more seeds coming. I am a bit of a seed hoarder. I don't know. I'm a seed collector. I love looking at seed catalogs and picking out what I want to grow for the spring and summer and fall, and technically winter, because our winter has been so mild. It's like these last few nights, I think it hasn't gone really beyond freezing. And highs of 6 degrees or so. And so my kale and beets, even my carrots are doing great. A cabbage is doing fine. And so I'm, you know, if things like this kind of progress, then I could probably extend a lot of my gardening into the winter, which is exciting. This was just an experiment to see how it would do. And so far so good. So I have 2 different types of squash that I want to try to grow. I've had pretty good success with squashes. And so I have the sweet dumpling, which is like a very personal, small-sized, sweet winter squash. And I want to try this baby blue Hubbard. My mom used to make this dish with pork and this really good, I can't remember what the name is called. I think it's buttercup squash, but it has a different name. And I love that dish. That dish reminds me of my mom and cooking and cold nights, and I don't know. It just makes me so happy. So my kids hate squash. So it's mostly gonna be for me. And a lot of the dishes that I would make, me and Terry would love, we loved eating them. So if the kids didn't eat them, well, fine. Me and Terry would eat them. And now I have a peekaboo. And now I'm, hi, peekaboo. Hi, peekaboo. What was I saying? Haha. So now I'm realizing that I'm cooking and the kids kind of eat it. Sometimes they don't eat what I'm asking or what I made, and I end up with a ton of food that I have to eat because my husband's not here anymore. And I have to readjust how much food I cook. And then my little guy here who's eating whatever we cook, and he hates baby food, like in the pouches. Gags. I've given him so many different kinds. He gags on every single one of them. I think it's a texture thing. He loves to eat real food that's not blitzed up, except for yogurt. Hi. I even gave him a overly ripe banana one time. He gagged. He is not one for, I guess, soft, goopy things. Anyways, back on track. So I'm going to do that. I'm really excited to try those two different squashes. And I'm going to try to grow, for the first time, Brussels sprouts. I'm really excited about that because I like Brussels sprouts. Yeah, you want to hold on to that? I've always wanted to grow corn. That's a lie. I've tried to grow corn and none of it has grown successfully. I think because, you know, either I'm planting it too late or the seasons, I don't know. The season, when I plant it, it's too late, and so it doesn't get a full season to really grow. Poke me in the eye. I'm going to try this one though. It's called pink popcorn, and so it's it's just for popcorn, and it's going to be 85 days, and I hope it says early maturing, which is something that I kind of strive for, especially because I never know how our summers are going to be, if they're going to be long enough. So I'm going to try. I have hopes for this one. And our whole family, not just my son, but my whole family, we love edamame. So I'm going to grow this one. It's a kuroshinju. I think that's how you say it. Kuroshinju soybean. And the inside is black when it cooks, I believe. Yeah, it turns black when it's fully cooked, and supposedly they're sweeter than just the regular soybean, the green ones that you would get in Japanese restaurants. So does that shake? Oh, and you'll notice when I went to the nursery and I bought this, my son, this one, was chewing on it, so it's like, well, now for sure I have to get it because you chewed the corner off of this. And this boy loves being outside, so you love being outside. It doesn't matter if it's raining or cold and snowing and just ugly outside, you love being outside, right? Yeah. And so when we go to the nurseries, that's our fun time. And when I say our fun time, I mostly mean my fun time, but you come with me too and you like it. Yeah. So I'm hoping as he gets older and he's going to let me go outside longer, where I can work more on the garden. So I'm going to sorry, he keeps looking at me and I just end up staring at his face. So I'm gonna build 2 more garden beds, I'm hoping, and with a trellis system so that I can do some vertical gardening with the squash. Yeah. Yeah. And I'm planning to do more garden bags, plant bags. I started them near the end of the summer season. Yes. On my deck, and they worked really well. My strawberries did really well, and my basil, and my potatoes. So I want to continue that again this year. But I think I'm going to do my okra out on the deck as well in the garden bags, because I did my okra out here and it got strong afternoon light, but it didn't really get as much heat as it's supposed to get, and it never got past, you know, about this high. And so I want to try it again on my deck, which gets full southern light all day long. And I want to see if that makes a difference. Another thing I had to deal with really bad this season was slugs. I don't know what was up with the environment that had enormous amount of slugs happening, but they just sort of decimated a lot of my plants. Yes. And I could not keep up with it. Like my husband would watch me with a bucket of salt water, and I was just like picking them and chucking them, picking them and chucking them. And my husband would look at this big, you know, 5-gallon bucket or whatever it was, and he would just see it full of slugs. It was bad. It was bad this season. So I want to figure that one out. Do you want to shake with this one? Oh! When you were shaking it, you probably dropped this. This is another thing I want to grow. A birdhouse gourd plant. You know, where you grow them and you let them harden, and then you can drill a hole and paint them and for houses, birdhouses. I think that would be a really fun activity to do with the kids. And we just love the birds that come around this way. So on my next vlog, I'm going to, woo, baby, I'm going to start drawing out my plans for the garden and all the things I'm going to grow. So stay tuned for that one. Are you looking at the camera too? Thanks for watching. See you next week. Bye.